At kasama natin sa ating panel to give their reaction dito sa talumpati ng Pangulo. Pakilala natin, Bernadette.
Ulit, syempre kasama ulit natin si Ginoong Elfren Cruz.
Kasama pa rin natin si Andrew at si Sir Conrado De Quiros.
So, baka pwede ho namin marinig, ano ho ang masasabi nyo tungkol sa ika-4 na SONA ng ating Pangulo?
Well, ako naglista ako dito, 5 very short points, very quick to the point. Yung kanyang huling sinabi, ako po si Noynoy Aquino, pinagmamalaki ko sa buong mundo, Pilipino ako. It reminds me of another Aquino in my generation. When Ninoy Aquino said, the Filipino is worth dying for. Talagang bumalik sa akin yung Tapos yung susunod, magtataka siguro kayo, bakit ang daming statistics, daming detalya. Sa tingin ko, gusto niya pakita na yung talagang ginawa niya, hindi ghost roads, hindi mga roads and bridges na hindi nawala ron. Talagang andon. Kanya kita mo detalyadong-detalyado. Susunod, ang talagang message niya, we have come a long way. Malayo na natin ang atingan, but we still have another long way to go. But we have come a long way. So my final one, ang gusto ko lang sabihin, naniniwala ako kasi ako na yung employment is really generated by the private sector. And I'm very happy na doon sa kanyang SONA, marami siya doon sinabi, addressed to the private sector. Yung fiscal incentive reform bill, yung revamp ng customs, yung power, lahat yun nasa listahan yun ng mga issues ng mga negosyante.
Pero Andrew, nagiging realistic yung Pangulo dahil nabanggit niya yung balancing of priorities and balancing of interests na maraming dapat tugunan. Pero these are competing important expenditure items, whether that is school buildings or itong ating defense capability. Anong tingin mo doon sa mga puntong yun?
I got the chance to read the General Appropriations Act for the coming year, and I find it to be very equitable in the sense that ang bulk talaga is in the basics, which is education, health, and defense and defense. So these are important factors that really needs to be invested on. But to answer your first question, what is your reaction?
Yes.
First of all, to me, I found the president to have a new sense of confidence, the way his carriage, his bearing, the way he delivered, and that tells me that he is confident in the baseline that he's established, whether it be in social services, whether it be in the economy. It seems to be that it's almost a mission accomplished kind of bearing is how I receive it, no? Right or wrong, but that's how I receive it. And number two is one message that was very, very clear to me, yung nakikiambag, dapat makikiambag tayong lahat in nation building, in getting to where we want to be as a nation. That was a very clear message from him. So I think at this point he's expecting more participation not only from the private sector but more commitment too from those in government.
Sir Conrad, mahaba at malawak ang ating dinalakay ng ating Pangulo. Sa tingin mo po ba, meron pa ba tayong nakalimutan sa kanyang SONA?
Well, actually, impression was that it was a very, very long speech. But it got better toward the end. Actually, it became very, very interesting toward the end. Pero marami man siyang tinalakay actually. I think yung underlying theme and which repeated again and again was transformation. Paulit-ulit siya dun sa word name, transforming things. And started off, I think, talking about very physical transformations. Yung mga in-accomplish in ibang departments. That was the first part. It was rather long, actually, I thought. But I think he was trying to suggest nga, tama si Alfred, that there is something concrete about what he has done. It follows actually a theme that he pursued also last year. He talked about that at length too. Pero ang sinasuggest kasi dyan, look what we can do if we just tinanggal lang natin yung corruption, we just applied ourselves to the thing. Look how many things we can accomplish. I think that was the subtext of that scene. Right?
He sounded a little winded in the middle, pero sa dami ng detalye.
Minamadali na niya, I think. And then he went on, I think, to talk about yung transformation, hindi lang dun sa mga nagawa, kundi yun sa attitude and values ng mga among public officials in particular. Kaya ito, that was where he got interesting. Kung pinangalanan niya yung NIA,
yung mga
Boston.
Pero ito
that was, I haven't heard any SONA that really made people na pinira.
Balik tayo dito, hinga natin ng kanilang mga panghuling komento. Sir Conrad, mukhang that sounded like a legacy speech already. Is it just in the middle portion of his term?
He is starting on it, I think. Pinakikinggan ko nga kanina sabi ni Sunny Coloma, ni Sec Coloma. Kaya mahaba kasi nandun pa lang. Kumbaga sa half-time. Nandun tayo sa half-time. Isip ko, huwag naman sanang full-time 4 hours. Guys, anyway, seriously, part of it is on legacy mode. Buong tema nga was transformation. Pero kanina answer, there was an interesting, ang naisip ko actually when he was going through this, yung enumeration of all his accomplishments, there was a, may isip mo that there was a time also when the previous president would go through that. It was haba rin ng speeches, tapos she'd enumerate all sorts of accomplishments. In this particular case, ang difference is credibility. There's a tremendous difference in credibility. Dati, ngayon pinag-uusapan nila, ano mga sinabi niya, how can we do things better, and so on. And previously, iniisip mo, when she enumerated all these things, tama ka itong sinasabi. Ito, given na, it's given na yung mga sinabi niya is all tama, and pinag-uusapan na lang natin how to make it better, o kaya ano pa yung kakulangan, and so on. Any doubt that what he was saying was true.
Walang halong pangbobola, kumbaga.
Credibility is a big thing, ha? Talk of transformation, you already see that. That's a transformation.
That's right.
Andrew, ano you're starting, sinasabi mo nga, importante yung sustainability. So sa tingin mo sa mga sinabi ni Pangulong Aquino doon sa infrastructure na ihahanda niya, tourism, lahat ng infrastructure, do you think okay to?
And Bernadette, during the break, you were mentioning, mukhang pinapakita niyo yung justification for some major changes in MRT subsidy to SSS contributions.
What I see now is that this particular SONA is setting the stage to make the institution strong enough so that no matter who sits down, 2016, matibay pa rin ang Republika. I think that's the gist of it all. So it reflects, it transcends the public transportation, it transcends corruption in the lower ranks of government, it transcends economic fundamentals. Ganun yung tema na nakikita ko. And like I said earlier, it's a big thing yung public participation. Yung pag-aambag nga is a recurring theme in his SONA.
Actually, talagang he's posting a challenge for all of us.
Yes, absolutely.
While there were big plans, he was also very specific in the areas na kailangan ng radical na pagbabago. Yun nga, NIA, customs, immigration. Your thoughts, sir?
I think may purpose yan eh. Yung binanggit niya yung NIA, customs, saka yung PAGCOR, ang mensahe sa tingin ko doon, itong tuwid na daan, hindi ito bola. Hindi ako nagbibiro dito, seryoso ako dito. Kanya kayo, magseryoso na rin kayo dito sa susunod na 3 taon. At saka yung last message I think ang last message dito na dapat natin nakita, binanggit niya yung 2016. Alam mo, marami nag-iisip eh. Ano ba mangyayari sa 2016 pag wala ka na? Doon ko nakikita yung parang dumadating na sa legacy, which is institutionalizing the rule of law, na para pag wala na siya, institutionalize na yung mga nagawa niya, maski sino. Ngunit sabi niya, bahala na kayo, magtiwala kayo na makakahanap tayo ng isa pang noy-noy. Yan ang hindi ko alam.
Pero
we hope so.
Hindi ba also parang pushing for urgency without being bossy about it, na hindi niya talagang minamanduhan, pero making everyone realize na urgent ito dahil nga patapos na yung...
I think on the contrary, he's been very forceful with his executives and expecting more and demanding more, which I think is an indicative of a very, shall we say, responsible and dynamic CEO.
Actually, simple lang eh. Parang sinasabi niya, I mean business.
Yes.
At hindi lang dapat ako, dapat kayong lahat kasama ko dito. Kung ayaw nyo, umalis kayo. Kung gusto nyo, sumama kayo sa amin. So it's really about mind setting.
Pero
Talagang
the closing part of the speech is still touches the heart. Your favorite.
My favorite.
Yung sa emotional aspect of it and appealing to the Filipinos, Sir Conrad.
That was part of his speech last year. Pero hindi last year he said, this isn't just me.
Ang sarap maging
This is
Pilipino.
lahat tayo ang making the ambag there. But that's the part where I think it can be debated. How far has he really achieved, has he really gotten toward institutionalizing the change? And how far has he gone toward getting people to take part in this? Kasi makikita mo, this speech is more what we've done for the people and not really what the people have done for this government. Iba pa yun, and I think that's something that can be talked about for a long time.
I don't think he said that he has institutionalized it. I think he's saying that we are there na. We are on that path to institutionalize
That's his
it.
intent for the next 3
That
years.
is what he was saying.
No, right now, kasi makikita mo, what he's saying is that we're creating the momentum so that this thing tuloy-tuloy. But that's still debatable.
Pero kasi
Kasi for instance, Cory was like that too. She created by personal example. Ang laki talaga ng mga value changes that happened. But once she was gone, okay, all right, that's another question entirely.
Kaya nga yung hamon niya sa kanyang gabinete, he paid tribute to his cabinet, he paid tribute to his personal security aid.
Yes.
Kaya napakaganda pong hamon sa ating lahat. Congressman Bernadette, your thoughts?
Well, ako talaga, nakikita ko lang dito, simpleng hamon para sa ating mga kababayan. Sinaset niya yung mind natin na ginagawa ko to, kailangan gampanan din nating lahat ang tungkulin natin. Parang pinapakita niya, marami pang dapat gawin, marami pa paghihirap na pagdadaanan. So we all have to cooperate. Kaya sana tayong lahat, isipin natin, we have to do our part. Yung ending nga niya, lagi nating isipin, Pilipino ako. Ano na nga bang nagawa ko para sa ating bansa? All of us, we have to do our part kung gusto nating magtagumpay ang ating bansa.
Pasalamat po tayo sa ating mga studio guests, Sir Conrad, Sir Andrew, Sir Elfren, and all the other guests who spoke to us a little kanina po.